to
The Alejo Show.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Alejo's Show. What a pleasure to be once again with you guys. Today, we are going to talk about something that I am really excited about, and it's comics. And not only comics, but also the influence of comics into the classrooms. That's why I brought an amazing teacher who kind of incorporates comics, superheroes, and many other stuff into the class. Mauricio Echeverri. Mauricio, I'm going to call you Mauricio Geek because that's how I know you.
Excellent.
Hey, Mauro, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for the invitation.
All right, I love your shirt, by the way. I mean, it's like Johnny Bravo. I can see Johnny Bravo there.
Of
Pinky
course.
and the Brain.
Yes.
Tom and Jerry and some others that I don't remember. Scooby-Doo is over there.
Uh-huh.
Do you wear that shirt like normally in your daily basis?
Yes, of course. In my
Really?
classes and everything.
I thought it was special.
No, not because of the invitation. No. In other words, this is my uniform.
All right, that's your superhero
Yeah,
costume.
exactly.
Okay.
This is my teacher's uniform.
Mauro, how long have you been teaching English?
I've been doing this thing for 18 years
18
now.
years.
Yeah.
Wow. But the idea of bringing comics into the classroom, how long have you been doing that?
Probably, if I remember correctly, around 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
All right. I thought it was new.
No,
a new thing.
No.
And why did you decide, I'm not going to be a regular teacher. And that's what I love about that. I'm not going to be a regular teacher. I'm just going to start with a new methodology, and I'm going to incorporate this into the classroom. Why did you decide that?
Let's begin by doing this. When I was a child,
All right.
I was raised by my dad and
Okay.
my mom, and my typical activity was watching cartoons every Saturday morning.
like everybody else.
Exactly.
All right.
So I became a big fan of cartoons and comics and stuff like that. And once I started at the university,
All right.
and when I was watching all those classes, I said to myself, I'm not going to be...
This is boring.
Yeah. I'm not going to be the regular, boring, ineffective teacher.
Okay.
So I said to myself, let's make some changes here.
All right. Okay.
So I start thinking about applying comics in my classes.
Okay.
Once I graduated. It's difficult. It's
It
difficult.
is.
Yeah, it's difficult to apply comics and cartoons because...
To apply anything that is different, of course, because people are so used to be like, okay, here comes the teacher. He's going to write on the board, verb plus subject
Exactly,
plus
the
whatever.
typical structure and stuff
Exactly.
like that.
I know.
And but with comics in general, it's difficult because, as you know, comics has or they have something that is very usual in comics,
Okay.
but not in English teaching in some materials.
All right.
Combination of different grammar tenses.
Okay, sure.
And structures.
Yeah, you can jump from the present to the past and the future.
Exactly.
It's a real life, but in comics.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And in that case, for basic students, it's not very easy to understand comics.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the opposite. Like for basic students, will be easier to see like a new methodology and something new there.
They accept the new methodology.
Yeah, it looks like fun.
Exactly, because it's innovative, it's different, it's appealing, whatever. But when you're doing this in a class with students whose English level is not as advanced as you want,
Yeah. It
it's
could be a
very
little
difficult.
tough.
It's very difficult for them to accept, to assimilate, to
Okay.
understand all those words combined there.
All right.
For them, it's difficult.
Well, let me understand what you do. So you go to the class and you are gonna teach the third person, for
Yeah.
example. I'm gonna teach how to conjugate verbs with she, it, he, whatever. Normally what we will do will be like in a normal class will be like, we bring a story about a girl and I have this girl, so I'm going to talk about her. So she dances and whatever. How do you do with comics? Like you bring a comic and then you say like, identify here what the third person is?
No. Normally, my typical introduction to the students in my classes is something like this. I'm not the typical traditional
All right.
teacher.
Yeah, this is gonna
I'm
be a
not-
fun
exactly.
road.
I'm not going to write on the board this typical structures, the bird, the whatever. No, I'm not going to do these
All right.
examples, and then you are going to talk in pairs or in groups. No, with me, no.
Wow.
With me, it's completely different.
So the students are like
it.
this.
Exactly like, oh,
Yeah.
holy
Eyes wide
smokes!
open. Eyes wide open. Like, what is this guy gonna
Oh
do?
my God! What the heck?
Yeah.
Is
What
this
am I gonna do? Yeah.
Is this English
Yeah.
or French? No. Normally, I tell the students, I don't care the level you are, but in my classes, you're going to speak.
Wow.
With the limitations of the knowledge of,
of your-
English that you
exactly,
have,
of
but
your
I
level.
don't care, but
All
you're
right.
going to speak. When I work with comics, I don't tell them, okay, identify the tenses
Yeah, the
or the
verbs and stuff.
vocabulary. No.
Okay.
I tell the guys, organize in groups or in pairs, and I am going to give you this comic.
Okay.
Enjoy. When you finish,
Oh, really?
we talk about it.
So let me see one of those. So the idea is that you,
These books here?
yeah.
Okay.
So the idea is that you take one of the books. Just give me one, and you can show them the rest. So you take one of these books. I'm gonna show here to the camera. I think this is it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You take one of these books, and they have like comic strip. Ah, no, they are actually. Okay. Oh, but this is called Introduction to Economics.
Yeah.
With cartoons, so
Yeah.
they're not like Tom and Jerry and stuff. They're
No, but
comics.
I don't use those in my classes.
Oh, no,
Normally,
but that's
use
okay. That's okay. But this is an example of the kind of books you use.
exactly.
You take books with comics
Uh-huh.
with balloon and topics and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And people have to identify some different things that you put them to do.
But no. Normally, I tell them, okay, organize in groups, in pairs, and I'm going to give you this comic strip or this comic book.
Okay.
Enjoy.
And what do they do after that? Don't they
Teacher,
look like,
but look, it's
yeah, they
teacher.
Look, they
It's
look
too
at each other
long.
like what am I gonna do? What do I have to do?
Teacher is too long. We're
right.
not going to finish.
All right.
Teacher is too difficult. We don't understand. Teacher, what is the meaning of this word? Teacher,
Okay.
what is the meaning of this structure?
Which is okay. I mean,
Typical
that has
normal-
to happen.
Exactly. Typical and normal questions of students in English classes.
Okay, nice. That's what you have to do.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's go back when you were a kid and you were watching those cartoons. What was your favorite cartoon? Like the favorite one. It's a difficult question because we know we have a lot in different stages. Like when I was a little kid, the Smurfs was like a big thing for me, and then I moved on to the Super Friends, and I loved the Super Friends, and then I moved on to the Transformers. As I was growing up, of course, the different cartoons were changing also. So which one do you remember that was like your favorite one?
It's a very difficult question.
I know.
It's like if you ask a person here in Medellin, who's your favorite soccer team, Nacional or Medellin? Or, for example, if you ask me...
Okay, give me a couple of them, like 3 or 4 that you remember.
Normally, the Flintstones, the
Flintstones,
Smurfs,
okay.
the Jetsons, Transformers, Thundercats.
Oh, the Thundercats.
Yes, of
Did you
course.
see the new
Thunder.
version of the Thundercats?
But the creepy version...
Yeah, it's not so good.
No,
It's
no,
kind
no,
of
no,
funny
please,
and
no,
stuff. All right.
that's an insult.
Let's talk about superheroes because many people that are watching this probably they didn't get the Flintstones even though they were in all Latin America or the Jetsons, but they all got the superheroes. Which one is? I'm gonna ask you also a very difficult question. Tell me
which one I prefer, Batman or
what-
Superman?
No. You know
Okay.
what? Tell me 2 or 3 that you really love and 2 or 3 that you really hate.
Oh my gosh!
Because if you allow me, I'm gonna start with the ones I hate.
Okay, let's begin.
I can't stand Superman.
You're my guy.
Really?
We're on the same team. I hate that guy.
I hate Superman.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
I think I'll be the next Lex Luthor because I hate Superman. I hate everything about Superman. I don't like the costume. I don't like the way he is. I don't get someone so powerful can have also battles that failed. So I don't like Superman at all.
We are on the same page.
Really, you don't like Superman?
No.
Why don't you?
Because, like you said, it's too perfect for me.
It's too perfect. It's a very perfect superhero. That's why I hate it.
Okay, but let's begin with something. Once I was working in a university, and I was talking to a student,
All right.
and we were talking about superheroes.
Okay.
and we were talking about the philosophy of superheroes. And normally, every superhero represents a problem.
Oh, okay, nice. That's interesting.
For example, if you look Hulk,
Okay.
this guy, in other words, represents the problem of being accepted by being different in a
Oh, okay,
society.
nice. I thought you were going to say anger or something, anger
No, no, no.
management and stuff like that.
No, but it's
All
not
right.
anger. It's the problem of being accepted
Okay.
by the way that you are.
How
in a
about
way.
Superman? What is his problem?
The problem with Superman, like I said, is too perfect. He follows all the rules all the time, and sometimes you have to break the rules.
Exactly.
Not all the time you have to break the rules, but in some moments of life, you have to do it.
Do you hate? I mean, hate is a very difficult word, but is anybody that you don't like in the superhero world that everybody else does? Like, for example, I know many people will, kill us by saying that Superman is horrible.
I have enemies.
But do you
I
have
have
any
enemies
other?
now.
Do you have any other? Do you have any other superhero that is like, oh come on, why do you guys love this guy or this girl?
People might think about. Let me see.
For example, Thor. I have a lot of problems with Thor.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I mean,
Why?
and especially the last version of Thor that we saw at the Avengers.
Really?
That was a very bad call.
The
That was
fat
a very.
Thor?
It's
I love it.
You did really?
Really? It was
I don't,
amazing.
I don't like Thor at all. I think I have seen so many versions of this, and the guy in the movie is good. The first couple of movies, but that was it.
No, but but that character in that, like I said, I like that character in that movie because, like I told you before, every superhero represents like a problem.
Okay.
And this guy, Thor, in
Alright.
that movie, in a way, he was kind of affected
Okay.
by the situation with Thanos. I don't know if everybody watched the movie.
I think everybody did.
Spoilers. Goodbye with spoilers.
I think
now.
everybody did.
Excellent.
It was like a year ago that
Exactly.
the movie
So
was
we can
launched.
talk with no problems.
I know.
No, but the situation with Thanos that he was at not in the last movie, but in Infinity War,
Okay.
he was not able to kill the guy.
Yeah.
So he entered in a depression,
Of course.
kind of state. Or
Yeah, he was the
whatever.
one who killed the guy. He was the most powerful one.
Exactly. So he was very depressed,
All right.
sad, angry because he didn't do it in that movie.
Uh-huh.
Then in the last movie, finally he did it.
Okay.
But at the same time, if you see, he was not happy for doing that.
Exactly.
Because
It was too late.
Exactly. No, and okay, I killed the guy and everything is over. So
Uh-huh.
what else am I gonna do?
Yeah.
It's
What's my role in this planet
exactly.
now?
So
All right.
let's get fat.
Yeah.
Let's play some video games.
Yeah, I don't want to be a superhero anymore and stuff like
Exactly.
that. Okay.
But like I said,
okay.
they represent social problems.
I don't know. I got my problems with them, but I think I have all my problems with the regular superheroes. When somebody says I love superheroes, and I say which one is your favorite, they will always go with Batman,
Yes,
with
of course.
Superman and stuff.
Wonder
I think,
Woman.
yeah, Wonder Woman. I kind of love the other superheroes, the underdog superheroes, the ones that are not so famous, but even though they're very, very good. Which one are your favorites? What's your top 5? Regardless the ranking, which one are your 5 superheroes that you say like, oh, these ones are very good?
I liked, for example, let's see.
Do you have to think so much to answer this question?
It's
Really?
difficult. No, really.
I mean, it's like. I mean, do you love your mom? Yes, I do. I mean,
But
Come
but
on.
in this case it's different. It's different. Okay, mom is mom.
okay, I'm gonna give you mine.
Okay, let's begin with yours.
All right. Green Lantern. I love all about Green Lantern's
Except
universe.
the Ryan Reynolds performance.
Except the movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I hated the movie. Captain America. That's the only one.
No.
That's the only one I accept from their super regular.
No, me
I
no.
think I love Captain America.
Me no.
All right. Doctor Manhattan
Yes.
from The Watchmen. I love that superhero as well. The Green Arrow. I love the Green Arrow. I like the Green Arrow. I love everything about him. And if I have to choose another one, maybe I gotta go with the easy one. Batman is Batman. I mean, I love Batman. Now, which one are the 5 of yours?
Let's begin. Hawkman.
Okay.
Let's continue with.
Hawkman is the one with wings.
Yes,
It's not
exactly.
the one with the arrow.
No, it's the
Okay.
one. That is
Hawk, the Hawk. Hawkeye,
Yeah,
that's the
Hawkeye.
name.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's Hawkeye, but no, Hawkman.
All right.
Let's continue with Captain America. No, I hate that guy. Too perfect again.
It's like it's the version of
freaking
Superman.
soldiers
Yeah.
following the rules. I
Alright.
hate those. No,
Okay.
no. Captain America. Let's say, for example, the Phantom.
The
from
Phantom.
Defenders of the Earth. Remember
Oh,
that?
okay. Yeah, of course.
I love
Lothario
that. Yeah,
and
exactly.
Mandrake.
Mandrake. That's the other one. Mandrake. I love that one.
All right. Okay.
Let's say maybe this is funny, but you remember the Flintstones, the superhero they had in the Flintstones, the caveman or something?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That one.
And in Spanish was Capitán Cavernícola.
Exactly.
Okay. Now that's one. That's a very strange call. All right.
I love
okay,
that
cool.
one. I love that one. It's fantastic. What else? How many do I have? 3?
I guess you're about 4,
Yeah.
so you still need one more.
One more.
We haven't said anything about girls,
Girls.
which is bad. Shira is good.
Shira is good.
Shira is good. Wonder Woman too perfect.
No,
Gal Gadot is
no,
perfect.
but I love Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot is perfect, but not
She
Wonder
can
Woman.
do anything.
Yeah,
she can do anything
yeah,
to me with that lasso.
I know.
I can reveal anything she wants.
Hey, but
with
you
that
know what?
lasso.
But you know what? I was thinking while we were having this conversation. Have you ever had this conversation with students? Because when we try to make our students speak in English, normally one of the best strategies we can make is make them talk about something that they are passionate about.
Exactly.
They feel comfortable about.
Exactly.
And superheroes, as we just did, we were just like, "Oh no, I hate this guy. No, I love this guy." Have you ever used that in classroom?
Of course.
And what's the response of
It's
students?
a perfect response from them because,
Okay.
like you said, they feel comfortable.
Okay.
It's something that they love or they don't love, but normally you find people or students in this case that love the topic. They love that topic of superheroes. So even though they make mistakes,
Of course.
I don't care about mistakes.
Yeah, that's something that we
and we
always
start
have said.
talking and I let them talk. And I don't interrupt them and I tell, okay, look, you made a mistake here, you made a mistake here. No, don't worry. Continue.
All right. Okay.
Spit it out.
Sure.
I don't care if you make mistakes, but express yourself.
Okay.
And that's what they do when, like you said, they have a topic they know. Or
Okay.
they love.
They feel comfortable with.
Absolutely. Music.
Yeah,
food.
let's talk about your favorite artist. They will go nuts and they will speak out about, Michael Jackson, whatever artist they liked. What about if somebody's watching this video and they say, I really love comics and I'm struggling with my English. What would be your recommendation to start implementing comics on my personal learning? Not like in a school, because I have a lot of people who are watching my videos and they say, I'm learning English with your videos, with somebody else's videos. I'm learning by my own. What would be a good strategy?
From the student's point of view or from the teacher's
No,
point?
from the teacher. Like what would be your
Okay.
recommendation
Okay.
if somebody says, Mauricio, I love superheroes, I love comics, I never read them in English, but I really want to start. What would be the best way to start these things?
You need to start by reading comics with not so many words on it.
Oh, okay. Not very wordy.
Exactly. Because in that way, you can create confidence.
Okay, sure.
And it's like children.
All right.
Children in general are like sponges.
Okay.
They absorb information.
Sure.
And even though you find an article or something and you put, for example, you put the child to read something,
Yeah.
90% of what they read, they didn't
They
understand.
don't get anything from it.
Exactly.
Okay.
But when you ask them, they start talking and they start creating new things. Even though it's not in the thing that you put them to read.
All right.
But they create a discourse, a new vocabulary,
Yeah, speech or something. Yeah, sure.
speech, whatever. So in that way, you need to begin by reading things with not so many words.
Okay, so for example, we are talking about comics and superheroes, and sometimes the comics about superheroes, they have a lot of
Yes, of
speech and a
course.
lot of words and a lot of sentences because they want to express what is going to happen with the world and my enemies and stuff. So your recommendation will be, if you're going to start with this topic, they should go with like Snoopy and all those
Yes, of course.
cartoons
Exactly.
that are not so wordy,
Or
they're more
for
like
example,
images.
they can start reading comic strips from
Okay.
newspapers.
Oh, nice,
Because
nice.
they are very short.
Yeah, punchlines, jokes, that's it.
They are like 3 squares of very short
Exactly.
pieces of information, and that's it.
Exactly.
It's very simple. Start with that if your English level is not that good.
I know.
If you don't like comics, for example, you can start also with that, with comic strips, because
Okay.
it's very short, it's very easy.
Easy to understand.
Easy to understand.
You know what? I love what you just said because I believe that if you understand metaphors and jokes in English, that's going to be a great thing for everybody,
Exactly.
right? Like, for example, in my case, on my Instagram, I started something that is called A Joke with the Famous, which is something that I do.
Yeah,
It's kind
I've
of
seen-
silly jokes,
Yeah, I've
but
seen some of them.
But the idea is that people understand the joke behind it, and also it's something easy to read because, as you said, they're just like 4 squares.
Yeah, three squares.
and that's it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Sometimes they have a lot of information. Sometimes they don't have that amount of information that you get tired of reading.
Okay.
So, if you want to begin with that, my suggestion is comic strips.
Okay, nice.
If your English level is not very advanced,
All right.
and if you don't like comics very much.
Let me stop you right there. Some teachers who have been sitting where you are have said, if you don't understand a word, don't look it up on the dictionary. Just try to understand it from context. Sometimes that is difficult, especially when we are reading comics or jokes and stuff. So somebody's just saying like, yeah, I'm going to start what Mauricio said. I'm going to go with comic strips and I'm just going to start reading them. If I don't understand one of those words, should I look it up on the dictionary? What would be your recommendation as a teacher in that matter?
When I was studying at the university,
Yeah.
a teacher that I had, he told us in one class exactly the same thing.
Like what? Like don't look it up or look it up?
No, when you read something, you need to do the following things.
Okay.
At least you need to read 3 times what you're reading.
Okay, the same text, but
The same
3
te-
times.
Exactly, the same test 3 times.
Okay.
Why? In the first time, you read only to get the context of the story.
Okay.
In this case, with comics, the same. You get the context.
Sure.
Okay. So, and then you start simple questions. Okay, what happened here? Superman did this, Batman did this, blah,
All right.
blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Okay. The second time, you're going to underline the words that you don't understand
All right. Okay.
from that short story or whatever.
Sure.
The third time, and probably final time, probably because you can read more
Yeah,
times,
many
if you
times
want.
if you want. Sure.
No problem. The last time is for you to understand the words that you underline from the context of
Okay.
the story. Doesn't
Yeah, I love
matter. Doesn't matter if the meaning is the correct or incorrect. The idea is that you are gaining confidence.
Okay, nice. I love that because I read a lot of books, and when I read them 1-2 times is okay, but then years later I take the same book and I read it again, and wow, like I didn't get that from the first time. I didn't understand this from the first time.
Exactly.
So it's a very good recommendation because every time you read it, you're gonna understand it even more. So
Exactly,
3,
you're
4,
going-
5
exactly,
times
you're going to
until you say
find-
like, oh, now I got it. I know why Superman wanted to do that.
And if you need to look in the dictionary, use the dictionary.
Okay.
It's not a problem. That's
Yeah,
right.
you don't need
That's
to
why they created
satanize the
dictionaries for.
dictionary. Exactly. Some people say like, oh, no dictionaries anymore, no Google Translator. But
No dictionaries in the English class or in the exam.
Eventually, you have to go there and just look it up for a word and stuff like that.
That's why they created
Do
dictionaries.
you have a
for.
favorite comic that you use in class? Like it always works? Like you always bring this and it always works?
When I was working in a university, not a comic book or graphic novel, but an animated movie.
Oh, okay.
It's an animated movie, again from Batman.
All right.
It's an animated movie called Batman versus Red Hood.
Okay. The Red Hood was Robin.
Exactly.
Okay, I saw that movie, yeah.
Exactly. One of the best animated movies in my case.
Okay.
From DC. And when I was in that time of
He
the
goes to
year,
the Lazarus pit and he transforms himself, something like that.
It's
Yeah, it's a very good.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's a very good one.
when I was working with that movie in the class, I was working reported speech.
Oh, no way.
Imagine.
Which level was that? Do you remember the level of the students? Because it's a complicated movie to
It
understand.
was like level, if I remember, 10 or 11.
Wow. Okay.
And I was
Which will be like B1, I guess.
something like that.
All right. Okay.
So I was working reported speech. So I put the video. They start watching the movie, and in some moments I stopped the video.
Okay.
And I asked them questions.
Okay.
They gave me responses from their points of view.
Of course.
And I wrote on the board their responses from them, but using reported speech.
Ah, all right. Okay.
But before that, I didn't explain any.
Yeah, that was the
any
introduction.
grammar-
That was the
exactly.
introduction to the topic.
Any grammar information about
Nice.
reported speech. I wrote everything they told me, but using reported speech.
That's a very good strategy,
And
man.
then when I was explaining reported speech, I used those examples on the board to explain them.
Wow, that was a good idea.
And then finally they understood the topic.
I think it will be a little bit more difficult if you would have started in a different way. Like, hey, hello class, I'm gonna teach you how to construct a reported speech sentence. And these are the rules. Yeah, these are the rules. Now we're gonna watch a video and then we're gonna do this. The order of the classes is very important as well.
So, like I said, the reaction at the end was fantastic. They loved the movie and they understood the topic.
Wow, that was a very good one. And that's with Batman versus the Red Hood or something like that. Okay, nice. But what about when people, what you do is fantastic, but sometimes people, they really go to classes, to English classes, expecting like a normal, typical class, like teacher,
I'm sorry, I don't like your method.
But more than that, like, can you give me the structure, like. And that matter, for example, reporters, can you give me the structure? Do you go there and say like, okay, this is the structure, or do you stay faithful to what you do and say, listen, this is what I do, this is how I explain, and you're gonna get it from this?
Normally, in every first class that I have, I give my students the rules.
All right.
Okay, not the rules. I tell them the way that I work.
Okay.
And I tell, okay, we are going to work a lot of conversation in my classes, doing this activity, but don't worry, we are going to have an explanation of the topic in the traditional way.
Oh, all right. Okay. So you combine both of them.
Exactly. So don't worry, I'm going to use the typical boring structure on the board.
But you think it's boring, so
I am going to give you examples.
Whenever you do it.
But I don't tell him. I'm going to use the boring structure in the class.
Okay.
No.
I thought you were.
No, please. No.
Of course.
No. But I tell, okay, this is the typical structure. These are some of the examples. And those examples, again, the ones that I using the methodology before.
Okay.
And then, do you have any questions?
But you know what? A normal, typical teacher will do like reporter speech, for example, and then here are some photocopies, and just go home and do that. Every teacher has to give homework because that's the way you can implement the knowledge you learn in classrooms, in your house, and in common life. What do you do when you have to give homework? Like create a comic strip in your own or something like that? What type of homework do you give them?
I don't give homework.
You don't give homework. No. Oh, we can have like another 2-hour show talking about this.
No,
Why don't you?
Because that's too old-fashioned.
All right, okay.
And students are not for that anymore.
All right, okay.
It's up to you to practice at home. I don't need to be like a police officer telling them, hey, you need to do this in class. And after class, in your house, you have to do this, you have to do this.
That's very interesting.
And if you don't bring this, you are going to get a 0.
So you give them recommendations. Like, this is what you can do at home or whenever leisure time you have.
Exactly.
And
practice.
But I'm not going to check it because it's not homework.
Sometimes we work with things that I tell them to do.
All right.
Check some websites or watch typical programs or whatever.
Okay.
But like photocopies, fill in the blanks, stuff like that.
No, that's old-fashioned. That's 1900s.
I'm totally against that.
1900s.
Yeah,
All right.
system.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Mauro, you know what? I think we've learned a lot from your experience, and as teachers, you just gave us an invitation to be more creatives and think what else
To
is
be
there.
different.
Yeah, what is there to be done in classrooms
Yes, of
instead
course.
of the typical fill out the blank and do this and that.
Yeah, the photocopies.
I know.
Or the typical, I remember a lot with music.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Like Lemon Tree
Yeah. Oh my God! Please don't go there.
Hotel California.
Oh no, but the Lemon Tree. Oh,
I feel bad because I've used Lemon Tree in the
I
past.
knew a teacher that used that song for so much time in
Okay.
one level.
Oh, really?
Every
Okay.
single level was the same.
But
song.
it's been a pleasure because with all that you have shared, we can have like a new light to start doing new things in classrooms. And if you are one of the students and watching this, here are some examples of what you can do in your house whenever you have a free time. Like, I'm gonna try to read something that passionates me. In this case, we love superheroes, we love comics, but that will be a good recommendation.
No, and the thing is that I've been saying this for many, many years. People, unfortunately, even today, people still don't understand the power that comics have.
All right.
The pedagogical power of comics.
Okay.
Because you can learn, you can learn with comics about many, 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 many topics.
All right.
Actually, in my backpack, I don't have it here on my
On
here
your
next
books?
to me. Yeah, next to me. But I have in my backpack a book in which, using Star Wars,
Oh, okay.
the first movie,
the original movie, the 70s.
but it's in a book.
Oh, okay.
It's in a book. You can learn the style of Shakespeare using Star Wars.
Wow, nice.
So you read the whole first movie in a Shakespeare style.
Okay.
In English. And you can learn that and you can teach that in your classes.
Can you believe that I have never watched any of the movies of Star Wars?
No.
No. I have a problem with that. I haven't seen. I'm going to start from now.
But the original trilogy, the others, no.
The others now. All right.
No.
Mauricio, thank you very much.
No.
Is there any Instagram account that we can follow you?
My Instagram is geekteacher79.
Okay. And also you have a Facebook. You are uploading some shows that
Yeah, I
you're
have
doing.
a Facebook. I have my YouTube channel, but I don't remember my YouTube channel right now.
Oh, okay.
My memory is not that good in this moment.
Just go by the Geek Teacher and maybe you're gonna find it.
No. Now I remember. Geek Workshop is my channel on YouTube.
Okay. Mauricio, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to have you again on the show so we can talk about Superman and how we hate it so much.
Yes.
That's what we're going to do.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your invitation.
All right, guys. And you stay tuned on the channel. We're going to have more episodes of The Alejo Show. And I'll see you later, my friends.
Welcome to